All right, this one is Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 performance review.
I'm the hero here.
See how it performs on the PS5.
Not you.
If I look weird,
No idea.
I feel like I look weird, but if I don't, it's cool. But if I do, it's because I only have one light.
But once he hit the web,
One of my lights were broken,
hero
so I no longer have this light.
imitates life, with developers Insomniac granted the license to make their 2018 Spider-Man game, catapulting them into the AAA space and first place in worldwide PlayStation
Thick.
studios.
Spider-Man
Bringing
thick.
back and continuing to push the PlayStation 5 with the bustling metropolis, bad guys aplenty, some of the best ray tracing on.
All right, we're gonna skip through a little bit.
20 FPS and
Introduction, got it.
The shackles are off on the technological baseline with no PS4 version to support. Traversal is
So you can't play this on a PS4.
maximum, with you
Only
able to
PS5.
literally fly around New York like a spider bat. Miles by name and by nature, he can now catapult himself cannonball style through the skies like Sonic the Hedgehog, with it never causing issues on the PS5's blistering.
I don't even think Sonic was this
speeds,
fast when we were
streaming
playing
at
one.
even higher traffic, building and pedestrian density. The hustle and bustle of the Big Apple has increased with more dynamic NPC AI, reactive.
Oh, that's cool. You
and
could
even
tell that was the
suspended
Venom
vehicles
swinging.
Brooklyn and
That was dope.
Queens. Water has been a key improvement over the prior games, with full geometric water surface bodies now morphing and wrapping around boats and
Oh, you gotta play as MJ again, bro.
city
Damn
interactions,
it.
your traversal, and even some key set pieces.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Ray tracing is not only improved with reflection quality.
Holy
and
crap, that looks
materials
so
increased
real.
over the previous remasters, but they are also integral to the art design, as both modes now have them enabled.
Nice.
Those same water bodies now use a mix of ray tracing and cube maps rather than the old SSR solution prior. The stochastic distribution of water matches the needs of noisy RT passes well, and it amplifies water quality significantly over the prequels. Many of the updates we saw in that remaster return here, such as the AI generated
Soon.
facial deformation.
I gotta do the rest of the reacts.
Significantly increases suit
Told you I'd do that today.
and provides more human shapes and tension. Also a key aspect for the Venom morphing powers, and this
Look at that.
provides a consistently impressive effects and combat skills throughout your play. Animation remains phenomenal, with both gameplay and style in perfect symbiosis.
Nice.
The wealth of moves, swings, swoops, and
Watch
strikes
my 21
really
minutes of
makes the
gameplay?
comic book style and movie
What do you mean?
quality seamless.
You sent me
Mixing
these.
excellent lighting rigs, material reactions, weather effects, and cinematography, mixing up bokeh depth of field and
Oh, that's
slow
cool.
motion, delivers in-your-face combat with a Donnie Yen style.
Hell yeah. Nice.
With the PS4 out of the equation, as we surmised in our preview, we now see two modes to pick from. Fidelity mode remains the showcase with its default choice, capped at 30 FPS with dynamic resolution scaling, often being close to that level, but a counted low of 3200 by 1800p. It is reconstructed using Insomniac's own temporal injection AA. Character models, facial animation, and emotional nuance are all improved. Evolution, not revolution. But when your
Cool.
baseline looks this good, you're in no dire need.
Yeah, for real.
Insomniac's own hair spline technology has been improved far more, though, with Peter and Miles' hair having more bounce and body than a Baywatch episode. But MJ is the star of the show, with her hair volume and physics being amongst the best in the game. Various styles and looks adorn
No, I
her
don't.
throughout the game, and clipping.
I did. I saw that. I tried to open it and I was like, oh, that's what that is. Yeah.
The game's PBR material still balance the line between
No, I haven't watched
Uncanny
it.
Valley well, making that 30 FPS cap a much easier pill to swallow, aided by an improved per pixel motion blur alongside the largely rock solid.
You literally
30
were the
FPS
one who was
throughout
bullying,
each
bro.
mode.
What do you
You
mean?
get a smooth and consistent presentation with the absolute best visual quality and
Wow,
effects,
yeah.
exactly as the team intended.
Next week, we were
That's
gonna have
awesome.
a potato-powered helicopter.
I'm so sorry.
Fear not, 60 FPS.
I mean, it really doesn't look
as
too
it
much
remains
different.
in the performance mode, again with RT enabled. Similar reductions as before. The ceiling is now 2560 by 1440, which it can hit often, more so in those real-time cinematics, but a new low of 1920 by 1080p. It is often at the higher end of this range. Like Fidelity mode,
Yeah, it really doesn't look too different, bro.
temporal injection
Yeah, I was able to watch it.
reconstruct and clean the image up to that maximum when below. In addition, ray trace reflections, although present, use a lower quality BVH range, and quality overall is reduced, with less surfaces reflecting, or at least a higher roughness cutoff. Shadows, ambient occlusion, and hair quality
It's not that big of a difference, though.
as are textures in places, likely as a result of resolution, but these are minor compared to double the performance with the same high octane action, blistering travel, and wild set pieces.
Oh crap.
Yeah, like it really doesn't make too much of a difference,
Insomniac have
honestly.
not stopped here with a 120Hz screen offering 40 FPS fidelity mode, halving the gap between 30 and 60 with a 25 millisecond frame time. It loses none of the quality but gains even higher performance. VRR screens are also catered for.
How come that looks
pushing
like
that fidelity
the
mode
Arrow?
to maximum
Or
with
Green
able to
Arrow?
hit
What?
50 FPS with a more aggressive dynamic resolution scale employed, sacrifices a slightly lower base for sometimes 66% higher frame rates, although it's often 40 plus is the readout.
What do you mean?
That
I
said,
did.
this 40 FPS mode is 33% more performant than 30. The performance mode is not left in the gutter, as it too, thanks to a slightly wider DRS.
You could tell the difference, but it's just so slight that it really doesn't make a difference.
Possible. The benefit is frame rates can now hit 100 FPS. It is often closer to 70 FPS in reality though, but the extra fluidity and response it offers with such a minor cut over that 60 FPS.
We were in a
gives
Xbox
the
party
peak
chat.
into the full potential of the PS5
I don't have you on
behind
Xbox.
that mode.
That's why.
But a full 120 FPS is simply not possible here. Largely CPU limited, I would suspect, in play and certainly travel.
Yeah, it really,
Cutscenes tend to
it
push
doesn't
through
matter.
higher rates. However,
And it doesn't even
the
look
increase in
bad.
response on a VRR screen
Exactly.
is welcome,
That's why.
and it remains
What do you
a
mean?
great benchmarking mode in the PS5's first party potential.
I'm telling you that. No, I don't.
Performance in the fidelity and even 40 FPS fidelity mode is largely a locked affair, aside from some small dips in cutscenes.
Like, there's really no
and
difference
some
at all.
minor stutters
I'm looking at both videos, like
base 60
both sides.
performance mode
No
is
differences.
Pretty much locked. Also with small hiccups and noticed in the same areas throughout my tests, and some mid 50s in some bigger set pieces and fast travel, specifically when you catapult yourself in the middle of a dense city.
Because I hate using
Aside
Discord
from
for voice
those,
chat, so I'm not going to do it.
Great, but a VRR screen is required as the variable rate improves input latency, and due to the 60 to 70 FPS range, it is small but a noticeable boost nonetheless to player control. Mixed results and quality, specifically in smoke from a distance. Ray trace geometry is largely great, but some obvious low triangle count and bugs can.
Okay, I mean,
proxy.
I guess if you're like really looking for a problem, yeah, you could find something like this.
Objects.
Yeah.
Incidental buildings and textures
But
can vary in quality.
honestly,
although the speed at which this hurdles past makes them a minor blemish, but the density of the city
yeah, a minor blemish.
while world detail is less progressive. The updates to the core engine technology are iterative rather than transformative. Polygon count has not significantly increased, with a big reliance on normal maps and textures for detail. The visual aspects and quantity have increased though. However, it can still have a cross-generational look on some nondescript objects such as fruit, books, pillows, NPCs and such, with the low poly count objects being apparent. In the city, with a strong and understandable
kind of.
imposters for trees, buildings, and cars, amongst other elements, can crop up.
I don't know, man.
And the performance mode is where LOD transitions from.
Honestly, listen, it just looks like a good game. If you're looking at that and you're like, oh, it's not 100% perfect, like, that's crazy. It just looks good either way. Fidelity or port performance. Either way, it looks good.
But from the PlayStation 5 updates themselves, the leap is smaller, if still impressive. None of this diminishes the excellent and varied game.
I have a really good feeling that is spoiling for me, so I'm going to leave it alone. That's Marvel Spider-Man 2 performance review. Just play the game. It looks good.